is called OSFI. OSFI is the government financial task force to ensure every bank have a valid Basel II compliance ready by this year, and Basel III compliance by 2013. Okay, because every bank in Canada have compliant Basel II capital requirement by this year. However, most of the banks in US, when in 2008, they still just compliant Basel I, which is just very loose capital requirements in that time. So that's why the whole banking system kind of collapsed in the US in 2008 and 2009. However, for Canadians, we are still doing okay. You can see all over the news, people saying that Canadian banking system is an example for other banks in other countries. So how risk management can be related in SAS? The first part is credit risk modeling, models to estimate Basel parameters. So my previous job is to do Basel modeling. So for Basel modeling, you need to have PE, which is probability of default, EAD, exposure at default, and LGD, loss given default. So that three parameters is very important for every product line you have. For example, if every mortgage I lend, I need to calculate what's the probability of default, which is translated into how likely the mortgage I lend to you will be default. It's like 1% or 2%. If it's 2%, what kind of exposure I have, and if you default, if you give you like $200,000 mortgage, I have an exposure of $200,000 loss. And what's your loss given default? If you default after 3 years and you already pay me back like $20,000, my loss given default is at $180,000. So all those parameters will be calculated and estimated for every product line, and the OSFI will ask you to calculate using those parameters to calculate how many capital requirements you need to have in order to lend that much money. For example, I may have, say, I will lend $1 billion in mortgage. However, based on my historical model, I say my default loss rate is like 1%. So I need to cap at least $1 billion, probably $8 million in order to lend, for me to lend $1 billion. So that's the thing. That's credit risk modeling. The second part is credit scorecard development and the implementation. Let's take credit card example. For example, you go online, I need a credit card, then go online, fill all those applications, and suddenly people, if you're lucky, people will say, you are approved for a certain amount of dollars. You're just in like 1 minute. And sometimes they will say, we will get back to you in mail in the next 30 days. Sometimes it will say, sorry, we cannot grant your application at this time. Please try again later. What makes those decisions? There are no actual people sitting back at the desk to check your applications. It's the credit scorecard does all the jobs. How to build a credit scorecard? You need to get information from credit bureau. You need to have your personal income, personal attributes. How long have you stayed on the job? What is your full-time employed or part-time employed? If you own a house or rent a house, all those informations will be counted to build your credit score. And that's a quick way for the banks to approve your credit or decline your credit, or approve your application or decline your applications. So for every 4 categories of the credit products a bank has, it will have a separate scorecard for each of them. So a lot of people will be involved in that part So what's the outlook for SaaS jobs? What's the potential employers for SaaS people? The banks. 5 big banks. All those banks using SaaS for risk management and campaign analysis and data mining or modeling. So they typically, every bank at least have like 200 to 500 people just related to SaaS. And you have small players in the financial market. For example, PC Financial, HSBC, all those small players. And you have credit unions. Credit unions is like a much smaller player than the Big Five and PC Financial, than the second-tier banks. So that's the financial industries. Then you have telecommunication companies. For example, Rogers, Bell, Thales. And you have healthcare organizations. For example, the University Health Network, CMNH. And you have retails. Retail, what's retail? Staples, Loblaws, Sears. I'm not just making the list up, because I have seen jobs related to SaaS, job posting from all those companies. So they are actually looking for people, and not just looking for people. They are continuously, consistently looking for people with SaaS skills. Okay. So let me show you a job posting from Rogers. It's a senior data analyst. What's their job function? Reporting to manager, service strategy, insight, and the matrix. The senior analyst will be key in the development and validation of a connected, causal relationship between key customer behavior metrics, potential drivers, and business performance indicators. Okay, those things seem familiar. Customer behaviors, drivers, business performance indicators. That's from we talked about before. It's one of the driver of the data mining. You can using data mining to review the pattern of customer behaviors, right? Then they will use sales results to influence strategic decision directions within the customer experience team to ensure that activities are developed in line with business objectives. In addition, they will contribute to achieving corporate objectives by helping those like just part of the job responsibilities. But the main thing is to develop and validation of a connected causal relationship between key customer behavior metrics to understand your customer. And the requirements. Bachelor degree in computer science, math, statistics, economics, or equivalent from a science background. 2 to 3 years working experience using base SaaS or SaaS Enterprise Guide. 2 to 3 years of working experience using Oracle database. However, this kind of collapsed because they just want, because if you see the priority here, the SaaS is above Oracle database experience. And you can use SaaS to link any database in the world. No matter it's Oracle, SQL, MySQL, whatever you have. Experience building statistical models use SAS Enterprise Miner or SAS Stats, CMSS. Experience with market research and asset. Command of SAS and SQL programming and in-depth knowledge of the use of SAS software for performing complex database process and excellent asset. So, if I'm the hiring manager and I got a resume and I hire people according to this, so this I'm flexible because as long as you have experience